We always say we're gonna do it, and then we just never do because we're always like, should we go to the pool or should we go to a park? Welcome back to the very unofficial travel guides. I'm Morgan, and today on Sunday Sofatime, we're gonna talk about 5 things I loved about Disney's Pop Century Resort. It is Sunday, September 22nd. I got the date right this time, are you proud of me? And as I mentioned, today we are talking about the Pop Century Resort at Disney. If you've never been, Disney World in Florida has, oh geez, I should have looked it up. I think it's 21 different resorts. Hold on, let me look. Well, according to the Disney website, it is more than 25 Disney Resort hotel locations. So, what does that mean, 26? These are hotels and resorts on the Disney property that are all connected to the Disney theme parks and other experiences with certain kinds of Disney transportation that are included in the price of staying at one of those resorts. There's not really anything like this on this scale anywhere else in the world. And whenever we do a trip to Orlando to visit the Disney parks, we always stay at one of these official Disney resorts. And I have stayed, or we've stayed in all the different categories now, the deluxe resorts, the moderate resorts, and the so-called value resorts. That's how Disney separates the price points, basically. Each of these resort classes has different amenities, different pluses and minuses, things that justify it being a little more expensive, things that are nice but are not included in the value resorts, things like that. And on our most recent trip to Disney, we stayed in one of the value resorts for the very first time. Actually, not the very first time, but I only stayed for one night at the All-Star Music Resort, like a long time ago, and it went by so quick, and it was so long ago I don't really remember it, so it doesn't count. This was the first time that we stayed in a value resort for like a vacation. And I have to tell you, the value resort was not my first choice. I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it because of a lot of things that I had heard from fellow travelers and from you online. But because the budget became very big for this trip, because we took a lot of people with us, we decided to try it out, and I'm so happy we did because we really liked it, and I think you'll like it too. I know it's not for everybody. I have definitely read some things and seen some other videos, like from my friend over at Heather Travels, pointing out some things that maybe are not so easy to get used to, but we had a good time, and I'm going to tell you about 5 things that I really specifically thought were nice or, enjoyable or beneficial, plus one little bonus at the end, so like 5.5. The first thing I want to tell you about is the way the beds are set up, and that is, one of the beds is a Murphy bed, and when you pop it up into the wall, underneath it is a table area. And I just thought that was really nice. If you're staying in one of these rooms and you're just 2 people, then it's just really convenient to have a table there, and I really enjoyed in the mornings, getting up and going over to the main building and getting our, little breakfast spread and bringing it back to the room, and then sitting in the room and sitting at our own little table, and we had the window open and the Florida sunshine was, streaming in, and there was just something really special about that. Geez, I don't think in any of the other Disney resorts we've stayed at, except for maybe the Animal Kingdom Lodge, was there a table that big in the room. So like later in our vacation, my members of my family came to stay, so Grandma came and my sister and my brother-in-law and their kids, and then the daughter from my brother. And so there were nice times where we had, like a table set up in the room, and I mean the table wasn't big enough for all of us, but it was just cool to have, table space. So bonus points for that feature. And I know some people say that, it's kind of annoying because if you want to put the bed up, you have to take everything off of the bed and all this stuff. And yeah, I mean, with just about anything, you can find positive points and negative points, but this video is about trying to look at it in a positive way. So I thought the bed/table was really cool. Okay, the next point I have is also something that is very debatable. And I know that other people, they say like this is one of the worst features, but I personally after staying at so many of the moderate resorts, I like it this way better. And that is having a central bus station where everybody goes to one stop. I guess in order to tell you why I think this is better, I need to say why I think it's worse at the other resorts. So if you stay at one of the moderate resorts, which cost a little bit more, I'm talking about Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans, Riverside. Those resorts are very large, and one of the things that they say is sort of like a plus is that there are more than one bus station. So like I said, Disney offers complimentary transportation to all the parks and Disney Springs and all this other stuff that there is to enjoy there. And one of the most popular ways is the Disney bus system. So you can leave your hotel room, you walk to the bus stop in the resort, and then a bus will come that's going to Epcot or Magic Kingdom or Blizzard Beach or whatever, right? And it doesn't cost you anything. You just get in the bus and it takes you to where you want to go. And so one sort of advantage about the moderate resorts is because there are several bus stations spread out around the resort, you don't necessarily have a long way to walk from your room to the bus station or from the bus station back to your room. However, it ultimately, I think, takes longer because the way the bus stations are set up, let's say there's 5, and bus station 1 is at the lobby, bus station 2 is in this area of the resort, bus station 3 is in this area of the resort, bus station 4, you know what I mean, bus station 5. So if your room is closest to bus station 5, it might be that when the bus comes back to the resort at night, it stops at 1 first and lets everybody out, lets people back in. Stops at 2, lets people out, lets people in. Stops at 3, lets people out, lets people back in. Stops at 4, lets people out, back in. And finally, then you get to 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that takes so much more time, and especially at night, the thing that kind of gets on my nerves about the Disney bus system, and this is just, totally first world problems, is it's dark in the buses, and then every time you get to a stop to let people out, all the super bright lights come on, and then when the bus kneels, it makes this really loud sound. And so you've got to go through that whole process like sometimes 3 or 4 times before it's your bus stop. So to compare it to the Pop Century Resort, there is just one big central bus stop in front of the lobby area. And it may be that you have to wait for the second bus going to your destination, which is something I think you very, very rarely have to do at one of the moderate resorts. However, you know that when you get on the bus, the next stop is your destination. You know that when you get in the bus at the park, the next stop is your resort. And I just appreciated that. I just appreciated that. I would much rather wait in like one line and know, all right, not gonna get in this bus, but we'll be the first people in the next bus, and then we go straight to the park. I would much rather do that than get in a bus and then have it go and stop and go and stop and go and stop and go and stop maybe 4 times before we're then like actually on the way to the park. So I just really appreciated having one central bus stop. Moving on. We typically, when we're staying at Disney, we typically don't go to the pools. We always say we're gonna do it, and then we just never do because we're always like, should we go to the pool or should we go to a park? Should we go to the pool or should we go to a park? And then we go to the parks. However, if you do go to the pools at the Pop Century Resort are gigantic. Very vibrant, cool theming, like the pool that was closest to our room, our area, had this gigantic jukebox. So kids out there, we didn't used to be able to have, like a little thing in our pocket that we could play any song we wanted to. There were these things called jukeboxes. It was like a big machine and you would put money in it and then pick a song. #retro. Anyways, yeah, there's just a lot of pool space. So if you like to chill out at the pool, if you like to have your kids, playing around in the pool, and you don't want to feel crowded and you want to be sure that you're going to get like a sun chair, then fantastic pool spaces in the value resorts at Disney. Okay, the next thing is something that doesn't actually exist yet. Well, it does exist, but you can't do it yet. However, when it opens, which is gonna be very soon actually, it is a huge benefit, and that is the new Skyliner system. So at the beginning of the video, I told you about the transportation system in the Disney resort area, which is one of the huge benefits of staying on property. You don't need a rental car. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about getting in the car and going. You just need to get into the bus, the monorail, the boats, and very soon, the Skyliner. So the Skyliner is a gondola system that connects several of the resorts to 2 of the parks. And directly between the Pop Century and the Art of Animation Resort, and we'll be talking about Art of Animation in a second, is a Skyliner station. So you will be able to wake up, and you don't even need to use the bus. You can just go out of your room, past one of the cool pool areas, over to the bridge, get in the Skyliner, and you're like up and down and at Disney Hollywood Studios. Sweet. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that, but you get the picture. And I think that is going to be a huge benefit. And I don't know if that means that they're gonna raise the prices, but we'll see. Having the option of taking the bus or the Skyliner is, like I said, I just think that is a huge benefit. And it's actually pretty cool. All right, I've got one more thing for you, plus a little bonus thing. But before I do that, you know what's coming? I'm gonna put a little commercial break right here. Did you, by any chance, have an ad for Disney World? If you did, write it in the comments below. Okay, the final main point I want to talk about before I get to that little bonus one is the fact that the Art of Animation Resort is so close that it's like having 2 resorts in one. Little known fact, or actually, I think probably a lot of people know about this, but maybe you don't. The Art of Animation Resort was originally supposed to be part of Pop Century Resort. They started building it and then they stopped, and it sat there dormant for several years. And when the time was finally right to begin construction again, they decided then to just create a whole different resort and create a new room category. They have these family suites, and I think it's really nice. And the vibe over there is somewhat different than Pop Century, and one thing that we really appreciated, and maybe one minus point for Pop Century, even though we're not talking about those, the food court at Pop Century is not the best. However, the food court over at Art of Animation was mwah. So if you're staying at Pop Century, it's like having access to 2 food courts and 2 pool bars and 2 bus stops. I did a video showing the walk from Pop Century over to Art of Animation, so if that interests you, I'll try to remember to link it in the description below, or maybe I can make it go ping up here. One thing that's always an issue when you are staying at a Disney resort and using the Disney transportation is getting the time it takes when the park closes to get into a bus and get back home at night. Especially if you've got kids, you know, people are grumpy and tired and emotions can flare, and then it just can ruin having a fantastic day, you know, depending on the amount of time and the experience you have after you leave the park at night until you get back to your room. And so one thing we really appreciated was when we got to the bus stop at the park, we always looked, okay, where is the shortest line? Is it Art of Animation or Pop Century? And then we just got into the shortest line because we knew taking the bus back to Pop Century, we maybe had to walk 5 minutes more. And I just really appreciated that. Plus, when all the family came down, we have some, you know I'm a picky eater, but then there's also some picky eaters in the family with gluten allergy and dairy allergy and things like that. And the food court over at Art of Animation had, at least from what I remember, just better options. So staying at the Pop Century Resort is like having a whole extra resort as a little, bonus in addition. And speaking of bonuses, here's my 0.5 or my little extra bonus. All of the Disney parks have some kind of nighttime spectacular, and they all include fireworks except for at Animal Kingdom. And the Illuminations fireworks at Epcot, which are gonna be gone soon, but replaced by another fireworks show, are huge. And from a lot of the rooms at Pop Century, you can see the fireworks at Epcot. Bonus! Yeah, so we actually, one night, I don't know if we had been in a park that day. I don't know why we were in the room at fireworks time because we're usually not. But yeah, we went out on the, the walkway, which is kind of like a balcony, and we had our cocktails in our hands, and we just stood there and watched the fireworks over the trees over at Epcot. And I think that's a big bonus because then, like, even if you could like stay at the Pop Century Resort and not even go to one of the parks and you can still see the fireworks. Just to keep it realistic, it's not close. And if I can find a video clip, I'll try to put it in here right now. But still, it's sort of a special thing to be able to watch a gigantic fireworks display without having to go to the parks and without it being, like the 4th of July from your room. What do you think? If you've stayed at the Pop Century or any of the other value resorts at Disney, what do you think about this list? Are these things that you can be excited about? Are these things that you think are actually minuses? I know that some of them are highly debated, so let's talk about it in the comments below. But now comes the time on Sunday Sofa Time where I comment on your comments live on air. Last week's Sunday Sofa Time was actually Sofa Time on tour. I do that sometimes where I don't do it from in front of the red couch. I do it from someplace where I am or was. And this was a video that I did while on my last trip to this island paradise of Gran Canaria. And I talk about how disappointed I was because I hurt my back. Getting injured on vacation is never cool, but when the main focus of that vacation is to play tennis, extremely uncool. So these comments are talking about that. And by the way, the update to that video is going to be coming soon, so you can see what happened a couple days later. Kelly Satter writes, I totally get why you're upset. Not only the pain of the back and worry about injury, but when you've looked forward to something in a big way, it really burns worse when it doesn't happen. So true. So true. That's why I was so disappointed. It wasn't like I went to this place, thinking, okay, I can't wait to hang out at the beach, can't wait to hang out at the pool, can't wait to go to the restaurants, and then maybe I'll play tennis. I was like, I can't wait to play tennis, and then maybe I'll do all these other things too. And then to be faced with, the thought that maybe I couldn't play tennis at all was a huge bummer. If you want to see how it all panned out, then just, stay tuned. Richard Sobek writes, it might help if you stretch before you play any sports, and the older we get, the more we need to. Well, Richard, thank you for that advice. I got actually a lot of good advice and really just a lot of positive vibes from you on this video and then back when it happened, when I posted about it on Facebook as well. So I really, really appreciated all those positive vibes. And Richard, actually, I do always warm up before sports, and then after sports I do a lot of stretching as well. That's the dancer in me. I just feel like I can't imagine not doing it. But thanks for reminding me. Final comment from Mary Jocelyn Winter. Mary writes, your expression tugged at my heart and your disappointment is palpable. The timing on this back thing really sucked. I just want to hug you. Except that it hurt. Yes, it definitely would have. I've had a disc slip a few times and it's life-altering in the short term. And its lack of predictability is maddening. So true. It's so frustrating. Today is Sunday. Were you able to play at all on Friday? Sending well wishes and best regards from Massachusetts. Mary, thank you so much. Like I said, all the positive vibes at the time really helped, and the video wasn't posted like live. This happened a couple months ago. But so, as I said, if you want to know how it all panned out, then just keep watching. That is the end of the video. Thanks for spending this part of your day with me, and I look forward to seeing you next week here in front of the red sofa. Have a good one, everybody!